Hey everyone, welcome to Morsel Media's first video review. Today we're going to review The Mandalorian Episode 1. I'm Mike.
I'm Matt.
And let's get started. Yeah. So here we go. I thought it was fantastic.
So, me too. I mean,
okay.
Generally, it's just, like, I'm not, like, a huge Star Wars fan. Mm-hmm. I'm, like, medium level Star Wars fan.
All right.
But as soon as I heard about this, I was like, wow, that's a cool concept, right? And then seeing this and the execution was just fantastic. And I don't know if we could, like, and the only thing I thought was a little odd that it was only a half an hour.
I was surprised about the length as well. I expected at least 60 minutes an episode.
Right.
I'm surprised that Filoni and Favreau decided to shorten the length. I don't know how long episode 2 is going to be.
I think they're all going to be the same.
Okay, well, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
And so, what I really liked was that as soon as it started, the music, just the cinematography and the way that it was shot, instantly felt like Star Wars. He walks into the beginning of the show starts with him using a tracking device, and he walks into a bar, and he's going to I think it's Horatio Sanz from SNL who plays this little blue alien who's getting beat up by a bunch of like a humanoid, and then like Aquarian, I think, from Mon Calamar and something else, and they speak Huttese, which I noticed, which is pretty cool. It even says it in the subtitles because we watch it with subtitles. Mm-hmm.
I found the subtitles really helped, actually.
Yeah, it helps you pick up a lot. It's something I started doing a long time ago.
Because I don't like recognize the languages.
Yeah.
And even like the connections to what that language means. Like when like you mentioned it when it popped up, like that Huttese is from Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah.
Or
the Hutts. Yeah.
I don't know that.
So yeah, he takes the guy back to his ship. There's a little thing where this one comedian shows up. What's his name? The guy with
I
glasses.
always forget. He was like Jim Norton's like buddy.
Yeah, and he's in a couple of TV shows too.
Big tall white dude with a
ginger guy, right? With like a man, like kind of built like us.
Yeah, he looks like Friar Tuck.
Yeah, kind of.
And he's in like a little speeder, right?
Yeah, I noticed that he waved the droid along.
Yeah,
He's like, no, I don't want the droid.
Doesn't trust droids.
Which shows up, I think, later. We get like a little snippet of why.
Right.
But we'll get to that. So we end up going to a ship. The guy drops him off, and the two of them off. Mandalorian pulls the guy into the ship, and then they get attacked by this like croco walrus.
Yeah, the croco
like space croco walrus.
It's got it's got fangs.
Yeah, big fangs. Big fangs.
But then it's got like the scales. Backtracking a little bit, like just before we get moving too fast, like the bar fight scene was what 15 seconds in, maybe.
Yeah.
Like
and it was previewed before. Previewed before. Like, so we kind of already knew it was happening from what was released beforehand. We just didn't know if that guy actually got spoilers cut in half. Spoilers, who does? And it was cool. It was cool. You can obviously tell they're going for the PG-13. Because you didn't hear, and you didn't even hear the thing make a noise.
Right, there's no crunch or splish.
Yeah. It was just like, well, no, there was a slice. It was a slice through meat noise.
Yeah, like a deli meat slice.
Yeah, exactly. So it was clean. But anyway, so where we go, he gets picked up. We go to the ship, pulls him into the ship.
I like that. I like the like fish dude or like the little amphibian dude is like trying to barter. For like his freedom or at least better conditions with with Mando as they call him in the show, and he has to basically go to the bathroom. He's messing around in the sub deck and he finds what looks like a bunch of people frozen in carbonite.
Yeah, and then it cuts. I like it that it cuts over to the carbonite, and sorry, not trying to get in your face, but like it cuts over to the carbonite, and we see the guy's face, and then he like moves this direction, and the camera does a focus, and you see Mando's face.
Yeah,
right he's like this, and he's like, huh! and then he ends up going.
That's not to scale.
Not at all. But whatever.
But I did like it because
worked.
it was almost a little bit of a jump scare, like a
little bit, yeah.
You would see in a horror, like not that you didn't expect it. It didn't cause me to jump, but I like that they tried. I like it because once you get down there, you see a change in the angles. You see I think the music changes a little bit, gets a little darker. Obviously, the lighting is a little bit darker, and then when you see the carbonite, everything's uplit, so it looks real spooky. And then he turns around, and he's obviously scared, and
And he tosses him in and goes.
yeah, he just gets frozen.
Yeah.
And then Mandalorian walks into a bar. We see Carl Weathers, Apollo Creed.
Yeah, I noticed that he puts out some money, and the Mando's like, "That's Imperial credits."
Right.
And he's like, "They spend just as well."
Yeah, they still spend.
Yeah,
Right.
and Mando's like, "Nah."
Right.
And
So he obviously wants nothing to do
with Imperials.
Right.
Yeah, but it also shows that it shows the decline of the Empire as well. I think. And
so the Empire is no longer a power. Yeah, the money might still have value because people use it as a form of exchange, but there's no power behind it. There's nothing
to even enforce it. People need to take it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So he ends up putting out these slimy, like the noise that it was like when you put them out on the table and they're like gelatin caps almost.
Yeah, what they
weird
called like flan.
Calamari flan. Yeah.
Flan.
Which is also like food.
It's
food, right?
Spanish it's like a Hispanic dessert.
Yeah,
right?
something like that. So for us anyway, but Mando takes. He says I can only pay half though. So half of the total of the Imperial. So I don't. Anyway, Mando says, "Yeah, I'll take that."
I mean, that's a pretty it's a pretty standard exchange scene. Like a barter for exchange bit too. The cool thing is that once that's done, they go into like what's next, and he starts offering them basically a bunch of junk jobs.
Bell jumper, smuggler, wanted smuggler,
right?
And then he's like, "I'll take them all," and then he's like, "Whoa," and he's like, "Well, what the F?" I
was wondering if the wanted smuggler might be Han Solo.
Right, you want that to be the case, right? Because it's after Return of the Jedi. The Force Awakens told us that he pretty much wham bam, thank you ma'am, Leia. She gets preggers. Right. He's already. I don't know if he's already out. We don't know how they.
Yeah, I'm definitely completely ignorant on any of that extended storyline stuff. The in between. No, but I thought it was cool that because. He's not looking for easy money. He wants a big, a big chunk.
Yeah.
So either he's trying to buy a house, or maybe he wants to have enough money where he can get out of the Empire's shadow somehow.
He almost immediately says, "I want something more," and Carl Weathers does have something. But but it's different. He's like, this one's different. This one's face-to-face commission, and it's going to be. It's going to be kind of old school, but deep pockets. So do you want it or not? And he's like, he takes the chit, and CHIT, by the way, according to the subtitles, and
it is a chit.
Yeah, a chit. Yeah.
Yes.
Odd. But I thought it would say data crystal, whatever. Who cares?
Token.
Yeah, something like that. He ends up going to the Imperials. He goes to the Imperials.
Oh yeah,
and I liked how it was like
stormtroopers.
Like in Return of the Jedi for Jabba's palace. That was cool.
Yeah, the eyeball droid. Which I always think of the production assistant that's in the background that's got a fake robot eyeball on the end of a broomstick. That's got to do that action.
Yeah.
Jeff, come on, what are you doing back there?
Yeah.
It's wobble wobble bounce. You clearly bounced.
Yeah, actually, speaking of wobble wobble bounce, the gonk droid, the door opens. I think it's a gonk droid, one of those big boxes, which is like wah, 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 wah. So that's exactly what you're talking about.
What's the
purpose of those?
The Imperial designer that was I don't let's put a trash can on feet.
Right? It's almost like two trash can lids just put together and then you're right, with feet. Yeah. It almost looks like a mouse droid on steroids. The door opens, gonk droid goes in, door opens, and you see these really beat up stormtroopers almost, or their armor is kind of beat up and weathered, and it's almost like they can't they don't have the resources. It immediately conveys that they don't have the resources to take care of their armor and keep it up to
They're
snuff.
like the thrift store stormtroopers,
right?
Like they've gotten beat up, and somebody's like bought them off the shelves without them being washed.
And and they look real thin too.
They're
like nobody wants anything to do with the Imperials. Like it's hard for them to get food. And there's a back shot of the Imperials turning to the door as the Mandalorian walks in. And the armor's like hanging off of the stormtroopers.
It's hanging off. It's obviously dirty.
Yeah.
It looks like it kind of gives you this feeling like they're almost held together by that armor.
Yeah.
Like why haven't they taken? Or they're so afraid of not being armored that they will not take it off.
What are they going to do without the Empire? Right. Yeah.
You know.
We're getting into like odd. Anyway,
metaphysical.
But right. Yeah. They're not all clones with chips. Thanks, George.
I may have gone too far in a few places.
Yeah. So, the Imperial Womp Womp, whatever he is.
Gontroid.
No, the bigwig.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
Werner Herzog.
Yeah, Werner Herzog.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So what's the character's name?
Oh, it's just like the client, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, they just call him the client.
So we don't really know who he is or if he was high up or anything, but he gives the Mandalorian Beskar. What's Beskar?
Okay, so Beskar is an ore of metal that's found on Mandalore. So then we have the Doctor walk in from. He walks in from the left, and Mando's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? What's going on?" And all of the stormtroopers like freak out. They're like, "Boom!" And you know, the stormtroopers are like, "Put your weapons down." And they're like, "We got you 4-1." He's like, "I like those odds." Great, fantastic. We're already setting a precedent for what type of character he's going to be. It's going to be great.
The other thing is like I recognize that actor. I've seen him in a few other things as like bit parts. But basically, they deliver the new bounty.
Yeah.
Which they don't know much about. They don't have any.
Only the age, 50.
Yeah, they know it is 50. They know approximate last location, and they have a tracking. We go into the armor. The armor's setup is really cool. It's very tribal. There's some elements of like it seems like a longhouse or. You know, but then he goes into the forge. It's almost like a mystical, like he sits down, but the approach and the way they
like a shamanistic.
Yeah,
very much.
It seems like he's paying some type of homage to this armor. The cool thing about the armor is that when she finally does talk, it's a female voice, and then basically you get a short scene of them crafting a new shoulder pad.
Yeah. He also mentions that. She mentions that the leftovers will sponsor many foundlings. Right. And then we have a scene of her making the pauldron. She says a pauldron will be in order. We see her making it, bang, 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 and she's like, you know, I really like that she pressed a button and the Beskar melted on this like pad immediately. That was really, really cool. That was really cool effect. And then she bangs it out, you know, she forms it and puts it on his shoulder. He ends up going back on his ship. He heads up to this new planet. Yeah. And then he lands on the planet and he gets out of his ship. He pulls out the holiday special rifle, as I call it, and he starts looking, and he's looking, and all of a sudden he's a blurg that we know from Rebels, right? And then he's looking and looking, and then all of a sudden this blurg attacks him, and like he's a flamethrower, you know. And then out of nowhere we see this dart come in, and it's just like, you know, hits it. Another one hits it, and then another one comes up and hits that one too, and they both go down, and we're like, you know, as an audience, we're like, what's going on? And then out of nowhere, this character comes up, and out of his voice, out of his mouth comes Nick Nolte's voice.
And then you realize...
And then you look at it, it's an Ugnaught, right? Which is like kind of piggy. They're like a porcine species. And it's like Nick Nolte with his like tape, like he taped his nose up. And it's like, damn,
what? Oh my God, it's so much Nick Nolte in that
face. It cannot be unseen. It was amazing. Yeah. And so...
Although I did like, you know, it was Nick Nolte's voice, but it wasn't it was recognizable, but it wasn't exact.
Or, you know...
I did notice, that was the only time I did notice a little bit of, the sync wasn't exactly proper.
Yeah. I thought the whole Nick Nolte section with him, and then the next section where he's like, gotta ride the blurg.
Right.
And it's like, oh, your ancestors rode the mythosaur, the big ass... It's like, and like, you can see him, like, the Mandalorian kind of like hangs his head for a second. He's like, I gotta do this. And then like looks back at the thing. He's like, all right, let's go. He learns how to do it. It's great. And then they both go hopping across the sand dunes and the whole. Because at one point he asks for a speeder or a land speeder, and he's like, no, you gotta use blurg. And we get it because it's like all these weird caverns that like are
they're
this
hopping
flat top.
Right.
Yeah.
So it looks like a big mud patty.
Yeah.
Right? So it's all
like,
cracked, but it's like canyons, right?
Yeah, but it won't support like
Right.
other things, but you know, only animals or whatever. So then we end up getting this like small outpost, and the Mandalorian again uses his holiday special rifle, but like just looking, and out of nowhere we see this IG droid just coming out of nowhere, and he's like, "I'm here to look for you." It's Taquito Waititi, I think his name is. Yeah. Mandalorian's like, shit, goddamn robot. Like, you know what I mean? Because he's just like, he doesn't like droids.
Friendly.
He doesn't like we mentioned before, he doesn't like droids already.
Right.
So then he like runs down, as like after the IG-11 is his name.
Right.
It's like, meow, 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 like for like just, four dudes, just like bones them. And then Mando's like, what are you doing? And he's like, well, give me the or not Jesus. Give me the chit because I've already I've already said the writ of seizure, and Mando's like,
he's
no,
very protocol based.
Yeah,
like
yes.
very. So like when you first see him, he's reading like off. He's announcing some protocol.
Yeah.
Or the.
Well, they're all like thugs, and I think they're like brigands.
Yeah, brigands.
Yeah.
Hooligans.
God, you can tell our fantasy upbringing, right? Brigands. Who knows that word?
Yeah. Right.
Comment below. Let us know.
Yeah, there's some brigandry there. Anyway, so a fight ensues. The Mandalorian teams up with the IG-11. They, basically decimate the brigands.
At one point, though, like we said,
there was a
Taquito Waititi. It's like they get like cornered for a split second, and Taquito Waititi's like his chest opens up and there's a thermal detonator, just like meow meow meow, and he's like initiating self-destruct sequence.
Yeah,
and Mando's like, what? Like
he keeps on telling them to stop.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
Like
at one point he's like, that was the first time, and it's like another time, and the third time finally he's like initiating, and he's like, no, stop it. Yes. And I just like the way that he just said that. Like it was just like he's like elbowed him, like, no, it's fine, just give us a second. He's like, cover me. So Mando comes out and is like, phew, and like wraps around the handle, pulls it. Guy falls over. He shoots him, and then he jumps on the thing, and it's like,
the hover cannon.
Really cool. Music was great. You could tell it was like the climax of the episode of just like, this guy knows what to do in the moment, split-second decision, can do it, has the ability to do it, and is already as badass as established as earlier in the episode.
So they use the laser cannon to cut through the door that's been busted by the previous gunfight.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they were trying to do when they were pinned down, was get through that door and just get past it. They get inside, there's one more guy to kill, and then the fob is going off. It's going off. It's like, and he's like searching around the room.
And it's this little egg container.
Right. And so the egg opens and he's like, I thought it was supposed to be 50. And that's when you see it. And it's the big reveal of the show.
Yeah, it was cool, guys.
It
was cool.
You see the blanket.
You see this little three-fingered hand just like reach up and
first
and it's like,
you see the ears,
triangle ears, yeah. I mean, the scene, but there's like a little tiny like a cut before that where like you see a really like out of focus triangle ear, but you're like, I'm not sure what that is. It could be anything, right?
It could be.
And then
that reveal was perfect.
And then the reveal, what is it?
It's a baby
Yoda. It's Baby Yoda. I don't know what his name is, but it's
what is a Yoda? Like, is it
right? We've only seen
all Yoda.
We've only seen 3 in canon, so it's Yoda, we know Yaddle,
Okay.
who has been on the Jedi Council. So that's 2 extremely powerful Force users
Right.
of that species, unknown.
Okay.
And now this baby.
So it's revealed it's a Baby Yoda, and then IG-11's basically about to whack Baby Yoda.
Okay.
Right? So IG-11's like, well, we have to terminate it.
Yeah.
And right away, the Mandalorian is like even though you
We'll
can't,
bring it alive. He's
Yeah.
like, no, we have to terminate it. Contract
Right.
is, which, by the way,
that's not,
isn't what Werner Herzog said.
Right.
He was like, bringing it. Well, isn't what the doctor said. Doctor's like, bringing it alive.
Right.
Werner Herzog's like, bounty hunting is a complicated profession.
Yeah.
You know? So, like, yeah. And you can kill it if you want to. Just being
Right.
pragmatic. So he's like, it's mixed messages. And then IG-11's like, no, kill it. You know?
Right. And so then it kind of zooms in to like tight
Mando's face.
on both Mando and IG-11.
And it's like, pew!
And yeah, you hear the blaster go off, and the next thing you know is IG-11's on the floor.
Thunk.
And then the last scene in the show is that the Mandalorian's reaching down towards this little baby holder thingy,
Yeah.
egg thing,
Uh-huh.
and the little Yoda fingers come up.
Yeah,
and
reach
it's
up.
like,
Yeah.
It's like, you know, that.
It reminded me, I gotta be honest, it reminded me of the Sistine Chapel
Yeah,
ceiling
Michael, yeah.
of like God
No,
and
they're-
Michael, like the 6 inches, like all
They
that.
were-
It reminded me of like a stained glass.
It definitely was.
Yeah,
It
a
was,
stained glass foot. Like
it was supposed
cool.
to be.
It's cool.
It was supposed to have like a bit of like a spiritual essence to it,
Yeah.
like, you know. But the cool thing that kind of subverts that is that, you know, you're still talking about a bounty hunter.
Mm-hmm.
So like he's just like, you know, he's just thinking like, I just want to keep this thing calm, so I can get it out of here and get it back alive and get my maximum return. You know. Cool thing about the ending of the show, during the credits, they show some really, really cool production art.
Yes.
A lot of production art that's like, I wouldn't even say production art. This is like produced art. It's not just like
Yeah, it's not.
storyboards.
No.
It's
no.
really well done. I'd love to find out who the artist was of some of that
Please
stuff.
make prints of it, Disney, because
Oh,
we will
sure.
buy it, or I will buy it at least, because I'm a huge Star
I
Wars
actually
nerd.
would probably buy some
Some of it, yeah, it was really, really
It's
well
really
done.
cool.
I'm actually excited to see if what I noticed was it's just from the episode.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that it's
Yeah.
going to be every single episode.
I would
We're going to
think
have
so
like
too,
new
yeah.
paintings and stuff like that
Yeah.
at the end. That was really cool.
That was really cool. I really, really like that. And the music, we'll have to put all those people in our comments so that we can make sure that we mark. Who directed the episode? Do you remember?
I think it was Dave Filoni
And then
And
created by Jon Favreau, written by Jon Favreau.
and Dave Filoni. They're like they're a dynamic duo right now.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that they're going to be given
Full reign.
Yeah. Like they're just going to be. Here you go.
Well, I
Here-
think they're the
you know.
showrunners. I don't think he's always going to be directing.
No.
Yeah,
We have a
I
bunch of
doubt
different
that,
directors.
yeah. I know Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yep,
is
and then
one of them.
Deborah Cho as well. Deborah Chow. I'm sorry if I got it wrong. But we have a few other ones, yeah. And then I know that Favreau and Dave are going to be directing as well.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this recap and review of The Mandalorian. I know, talking for myself, I thought it was awesome. I'm definitely not the Star Wars crazy person that Mike is, but I sat down and 30 minutes felt like 10 minutes, and that's
Yeah,
really, that's
it,
really,
like we started it was over. And
Yeah.
like, boom. And, I'm going to go rewatch it a few different times,
Right.
obviously. But if you liked our content, make sure that you can like and subscribe below. And I'm Mike. This is Matt. We're Morsel Media, and we hope you tune in next time for episode 2. All right? Thanks, guys. We'll see you later.
See ya.
Bye.